Welcome to our continuing series Questions and Answers from the works of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Today's subject is Willpower, Part 4 from the Mother. In the very, very old traditions, there was a tradition more ancient than the Vedic and the Chaldean, which must have been the source of both. In that ancient tradition, there is already mention of a glorious body which would be plastic enough to be transformed at every moment by the deeper consciousness. It would express that consciousness. It would have no fixity of form. It mentioned luminosity. The constituent matter could become luminous at will. It mentioned a sort of possibility of weightlessness, which would allow the body to move about in the air only by the action of willpower and by certain processes of control of the inner energy, and so on. Much has been said about these things. I don't know if there ever were beings on earth who had partially realized this, but in a very small way there have been partial instances of one thing or another, examples which go to prove that it is possible. Pain does not prevent my body from doing anything at all. Pain isn't a factor, or rather, it's a factor that can be easily dealt with. It's not that. It is matter. Matter, probably cellular matter, or losing its capacity to respond to that will, to willpower. But why? I don't know. But will is a force with the power of organization, and it can be put at the service of any purpose whatever. It is something that when one has willpower, one has to a definite purpose. This is will. It is not that one is allowed to exercise his will over another, but that there is a universal will, and those who are more or less capable of manifesting this force seem to have a stronger willpower. It is like vital force, or light, or electricity, or any other power of nature. Some are good channels or instruments for manifesting the power. Others are poor channels. There is no question of morality here. It is a fact of nature, a law of the great play. It is a recognized fact that in order to progress rapidly, one must not be afraid of difficulties. On the contrary, by choosing to do the difficult thing at every opportunity, one increases the willpower and strengthens the nerves. There must be no little exceptions to the rule that are indulged in just for once, but which are repeated very often, for as soon as one yields to temptation, even just for once, one lessens the resistance of the willpower and opens the door to every failure. From Sri Aurobindo. The supramental being sees things from above in large spaces, and at the highest from the spaces of the infinite. His view is not limited to the standpoint of the present, but can see in the continuities of time, or from above time in the indivisibilities of the spirit. He sees truth in its proper order, first in the essence, secondly in the potentialities that derive from it, and only last in the actualities. The essential truths are to his sight self existent, self seen, not dependent for their proof on this or that actuality. The potential truths are truths of the power of being in itself and in things, truths of the infinity of force and real apart from their past or present realization in this or that actuality or the habitual surface forms that we take for the whole of nature. The actualities are only a selection from the potential truths he sees. Dependent on them, limited and mutable. The tyranny of the present, of the actual, of the immediate range of facts, of the immediate urge and demand of action, has no power over his thought and his will, and he is therefore able to have a larger will power founded on a larger knowledge.